So Caitlin Clark just made a serious amount of money. Like, we did not realize just how much money Caitlin Clark had made from brand deals. And all in all, it is a crazy amount.
Look, Caitlin Clark is totally changing the game, and not just with her incredible play on the court. It's wild. She's set to be one of the top 10 highest paid female athletes by 2025, but her WNBA salary is actually pretty tiny. So, how's she doing it? Well, her big money isn't coming from the league at all. It's all thanks to some shocking side deals and endorsements. And that's got a lot of veteran players pretty upset. Is it just pure genius, or is she playing a different kind of game that's shaking up the WNBA?
And it's so much that Caitlin Clark is in the top 10 highest paid female athletes in the world. What?
By the end of this whole story, full of big salaries, some serious envy, and a lot of smart business moves, you're really going to understand why Clark's name is making waves across the WNBA and far beyond.
You might be saying, oh, like, she's top 5, she's top 10, like, who's number 1? Is it A'ja Wilson number 1? I mean, if A'ja Wilson was asked about this, and these are, like, not accurate numbers, Caitlin Clark is making 11 million, so A'ja Wilson's making 12. But,
the thing is, Caitlin Clark's rise to fame in women's basketball is nothing short of amazing. But it's not just her skills on the court that everyone's talking about. She's crushing records in games and making a ton of money from endorsement deals. Yet, her WNBA rookie salary is only around $76,535, and that's caused a lot of controversy. And let's be honest, some real jealousy in the league. How can a rookie make way more from side gigs and endorsements than most of the seasoned players?
That would be absolutely incredible. But they did release a list of the top earning female athletes, and Caitlin Clark is 10 at 11.1 million. So she is equal on brand deals with Simone Biles.
And get this, Clark's approach to advertising professional women's basketball is completely changing things because of her really smart, calculated choices. But not everyone is thrilled about it. That's for sure.
She's not bigger than Simone Biles. Like, this is somebody who realistically only boomed from April on.
On one hand, she's clearly boosting the league's profile, bringing in tons more fans and media attention. But here's the thing, her quick rise also shines a bright light on a major problem. This whole situation is a real-time story about big opportunities and growing jealousy. Clark is right in the middle of the WNBA's wage gap issues and their struggle to keep top players, especially when there are better paying options in other leagues or overseas.
I would be shocked if it's under 15 million. And the fact is, if she didn't get screwed by Nike and got what she was realistically worth, which is probably the 10 mil a year, that could be closer to.
Her WNBA rookie salary might seem super low, especially when you compare it to male NBA players, but Clark has locked down some massive endorsement deals. We're talking big names like Nike, Wilson, and State Farm. These deals alone have rocketed her into the top 10 highest paid female athletes for 2025, a list usually dominated by tennis stars. She's earning over $1 million a year. It's wild. A rookie basketball player is making most of her money from marketing and speaking gigs, not even from playing the actual game. Companies are paying her 6 figures for virtual talks and even more for in-person appearances. She can pull in $100,000 for just 30 minutes of her time, and that jumps to $200,000 or $300,000 for an in-person event. That's more than most WNBA players make in an entire season. Naturally, this has created a lot of controversy and conflict in the league. But what really makes Clark so valuable is her visibility. Despite its challenges, the WNBA has given her a platform no rival league can match. Every time Clark steps onto the court, millions of eyes are on her, and that kind of exposure turns directly into big money. This has definitely led to some frustration among her teammates. Many WNBA players have spent years perfecting their game, only to watch a rookie grab all the headlines and endorsement deals. Her games are on national TV, her highlights are everywhere on social media, and her name is constantly in the news. This exposure is absolutely priceless for brands, making her one of the most marketable athletes out there. So, the jealousy actually makes a lot of sense. She's basically reimagined basketball using a genius marketing strategy that's left a lot of others behind. But there's even more to this story. Clark's long-term vision is clear because she decided to stay in the WNBA, even turning down offers from competing leagues, like Unrivaled. Unrivaled reportedly offered her over $1 million in equity in their league, but Clark said no. She gets how important the WNBA's established platform is. While Unrivaled might offer more cash up front, staying in the WNBA gives her unmatched reach and credibility. Clark isn't just earning a salary, she's building a legacy. A great example of this is her Nike endorsement. This $28 million 8-year deal is historic for a rookie, but it also hints at her massive untapped potential. Industry insiders have even speculated that Clark could have asked for more, especially if Nike had included a signature shoe line. A Caitlin Clark sneaker could have been a goldmine, just like Air Jordans or Steph Curry's shoes. But for now, Nike seems to be holding back, which has a lot of people scratching their heads. Plus, her partnership with Wilson, which includes a signature basketball collection, puts her in a league of her own. The only other athlete to have a deal like this with Wilson, that's Michael Jordan. This shows Clark's incredible marketability and how much women's sports are changing, but her speaking appearances might be the real game changer. In the last year, Clark has given at least 6 high-profile speeches, earning at least. These aren't just about basketball, they're about branding, leadership, and inspiring others. Companies see Clark as more than just an athlete. They see her as a symbol of perseverance, success, and the future of women's sports. However, despite all her achievements, there's a downside. It's hard to ignore the WNBA's wage structure, which caps rookie salaries at $76,500. Especially with Clark's insane earning potential, it feels totally outdated, and it's not just about Clark. It's about what her success reveals about the state of women's basketball. If the league can't offer competitive salaries, it risks losing its best players to rival organizations or overseas leagues. And that brings us to the elephant in the room, jealousy. Clark's success is definitely good for the WNBA, but it's also sparked conflict among her peers. Many players feel unappreciated, underpaid, and overlooked, especially compared to Clark's off-court earnings. Tension around player revenue isn't new, but Clark's rise has brought it right to the forefront. What's even more fascinating is Clark's knack for navigating all of this. She's not just a basketball player, she's an entrepreneur, a strategist, and a brand. Her choice to prioritize long-term visibility over quick cash is a brilliant move that will likely pay off for years to come. But the question remains, is the WNBA doing enough to support its players? Clark's success has exposed the league's shortcomings, from its marketing efforts to its pay structure. The WNBA needs to adapt quickly if it wants to keep its top talent. More than just a basketball player, Caitlin Clark is a trailblazer, a disruptor, and a perfect example of what happens when skill and strategy combine. Her story is far from over, and the sports world will be watching closely as she continues to break barriers. In a time where exposure, marketability, and influence often outweigh pure talent, Caitlin Clark's journey is a wake-up call to the WNBA and the entire sports world. Clark has totally cracked the code. She's not just playing basketball, she's playing chess in a game where most players are still trying to figure out checkers. However, her rapid ascent has created undeniable tension in the league and beyond, as her peers grapple with her setting a new standard they just weren't ready for. Let's dive deeper into the endorsements, the envy, and the empire she's building. Clark's endorsement deals are way more than just numbers on paper. They represent a fundamental shift in how female athletes are seen and valued. When you consider the average league salary, her partnership with State Farm alone is reportedly worth millions. It's not just about the money, it's also about the message. State Farm choosing to back Clark highlights her status as a cultural icon whose influence goes way beyond the court. But the envy is real. WNBA veterans have been fighting for years to get even small sponsorships. So these veteran players are left wondering, why her? The explanation is simple but a bit unsettling: timing, marketing, and charisma. Clark's debut grabbed attention and sparked a fire. She joined the league at a time when interest in women's sports was exploding, and she capitalized on that opportunity with incredible precision. Her charisma also played a huge role. Her confidence on and off the court is captivating. She's relatable and aspirational, a unique combination that makes her a marketer's dream. Whether she's draining threes effortlessly or speaking to a crowd at a corporate event, she's not just showing off her skills, she's telling a story. It's a story of perseverance, ambition, and the belief that women's sports can be just as exciting and profitable as men's. But it's not without its critics. Some argue that Clark's rise points to deeper issues in the WNBA, where individual success often comes at the expense of collective progress. Most players find it nearly impossible to achieve financial security just from basketball, due to the league's salary cap and strict pay structure. Clark, with her millions in endorsements, is the exception, not the rule. And while her success brings much-needed attention to the league, it also highlights its unfairness. Can the WNBA adapt fast enough to keep up with players like Clark? For years, the league has struggled to attract and keep elite players, losing many stars to other leagues that pay significantly more. While not every player has the same opportunities or the same willingness to play the long game, Clark's decision to stay in the WNBA, despite more lucrative offers elsewhere, is a testament to her long-term vision. Plus, while that $28 million over 8 years from Nike sounds incredible, some experts feel it actually undervalues her true worth. Specifically, the absence of a signature shoe line feels like a huge missed opportunity. Just think about the cultural impact of Air Jordans, or the Under Armour Curry line. A Caitlin Clark sneaker would have been game-changing for her and for women's basketball in general. A signature sneaker is more than just a product. It's how an athlete builds their legacy and increases their impact off the court. Given Clark's rapidly growing profile and her undeniable appeal to young fans, Nike's reluctance to fully capitalize on her popularity raises real questions about their commitment to elevating female athletes. It's a strange choice, especially considering that every lost opportunity to launch a signature shoe or a major marketing campaign costs millions, and let's not forget, time is of the essence. Now that Clark's momentum is at its peak, Nike and Clark could lose millions if they don't act. The WNBA itself is another big issue. While Clark's presence has clearly helped the league, it's also exposed its weaknesses. The pay disparities, the inability to offer players long-term job security, and the lack of thorough marketing plans are obvious problems that can't be ignored. For many WNBA players, it's not just about the money, it's about the recognition and validation for all their hard work. Clark's success has brought attention to the league, but it's also highlighted its shortcomings in a way that demands action. The envy among her peers is totally understandable. Imagine dedicating years to your sport, only to see a newcomer dominate all the headlines and endorsement deals. Clark's rise feels like a reminder of what they haven't achieved, through no fault of their own, because the league's infrastructure hasn't given others the same opportunities to shine. But despite the criticism and the jealousy, Clark seems unfazed. She knows her success comes from both her incredible talent and her ability to navigate the complicated world of sports marketing. She's playing a different game, one that needs not just skill but also strategy, vision, and a willingness to take risks. By partnering with major brands and maximizing her platform, her influence will last long after her playing days are over. Her collaboration with Wilson, for example, is a perfect illustration of successful branding. As the first female basketball player to get a signature collection from the company, she's smashing stereotypes and setting a new standard for future athletes. This deal isn't just about selling basketballs, it's about changing perceptions and showing the world that female athletes are just as marketable and influential as their male counterparts. And don't even get me started on the speaking engagement. Companies aren't just paying for her words, they're paying for the excitement, the motivation, and the exposure. Clark's ability to command 6 figures for a single engagement proves that. The buzz around every event she attends further solidifies her reputation as a cultural icon, someone who goes beyond athletics to become a global influencer. But there's still conflict within the league. Clark's success has made everyone talk more about the WNBA's role in promoting its players and ensuring their financial stability. These are big questions that need answers, and Clark's journey is ultimately forcing the league to face them head-on. Can the league adjust to the changing realities of sports marketing, or will it keep falling behind, causing its players to look for opportunities elsewhere? Caitlin Clark's story is about so much more than just basketball. It's about ambition, strategy, and the incredible power of visibility. She's totally revolutionizing the sport, and showing the world that female athletes can be just as successful and powerful as their male counterparts. Her ascent is proof of what can happen when talent and opportunity come together, and her story is far from finished. Caitlin Clark is more than just a player. She's a phenomenon, and it's clear that the sports world will never be the same as she continues to set new records and benchmarks.